You've read the title, and I know what you're thinking after reading it. Yes, I am 100% serious. I don't even care how short this video is gonna end up being, considering that we're just talking about 4 video game title screens. But I genuinely believe that the Pikmin games have the most lively video game title screens ever made. And I don't think anyone else has talked about this subject before. So me, being one of the biggest Pikmin fanatics that I know, must fix that. So let's see. What exactly do we have to talk about with these things? We have moving elements in the screens, how it fits the game, music, and how they all come together to create the screen. Also, we have to count in just my overall bias, because on this channel the concept of objectivity doesn't exist. Everything I say on this channel is just my opinion, and I'm not here to tell you what's right and what's wrong. So if you disagree with me, cry about it. But also feel free to leave your ranking in the comments. I want to know what other people think about these title screens. Side note, I'm not counting Hey Pikmin, because I don't consider that a part of the mainline games. We are only talking about Pikmin 1 through 4. Anyway, let's get started with the best game that was ever released for the Nintendo GameCube. Pikmin 1. Pikmin 1 being the simplest game in the series, it's not that surprising that it also has the title screen with the least going on. But honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just some flowers spelling out the game's name and waving around. But does Pikmin 1 need anything more? In my opinion, no. The simple title screen with the chill and calming music in the background gives the perfect idea of what kind of game this is. Pikmin 1 is just a really relaxing game. Actually, all Pikmin games are really relaxing. Pretty much the only Nintendo series that I can think of that's more relaxing than Pikmin are Animal Crossing and Nintendogs. Also, considering that this is on the GameCube, it's pretty surprising how many moving elements are on this single screen. You have the flowers moving, the flower shadow swaying alongside the flowers, the press A text bubble flashing in and out of view, and the shadows on the side moving ever so slightly from left to right. One more thing about this title screen that I find really nice are actually the flowers. I started the series with Pikmin 3, so when I went back to play Pikmin 1, I immediately recognized the flowers as being the flowers that Pikmin grow on their heads. But imagine it from the eyes of someone who didn't know that. Imagine a little kid, back in 2001, picking up this game, putting it in their GameCube and thinking, huh, those are some cool flowers. Only to then later recognize that same flower on the heads of their Pikmin. That would have blown my mind if I had been that kid. It perfectly explains why these flowers just happen to be in this position and how they're growing in the middle of a forest area without any dirt to actually grow from. It's simply explained with the realization that the flowers were red Pikmin this whole time. Overall, I give this title screen a score of 10 out of 10. It's literally the best example of a perfect title screen I can think of. How on earth is Pikmin 2 supposed to top this? Okay, let's get it out of the way now. Pikmin 2's title screen doesn't top Pikmin 1, but I still adore this title screen. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of Pikmin 2, in fact I flat out disliked the game on my first playthrough. There were some elements of Pikmin 2 that I enjoyed more than Pikmin 1. One of them being how the different maps are themed around the different seasons, which is shown off perfectly with Pikmin 2 having 4 possible title screens, each one modeled after each of the 4 themes the game's maps have to offer. All the moving elements in the screens are also more lively than in the first one. The flowers now move in a wave-like motion from side to side. Unlike in Pikmin 1, the plants on the side of the screen also sway in the wind. Just like in Pikmin 1, the shadows the plants create move alongside the plants themselves. And if you sit on this screen long enough, some enemies will come to hang out and the Pikmin will react accordingly to them. Now then, let's talk about the thing that brought Pikmin 1's title screen the most points towards its score. The Pikmin themselves. I love that the colors of the Pikmin can now be seen from under the flowers. Since now we're familiar with these adorable creatures, we don't need the realization aspect of the first game's title screen and can just enjoy the Pikmin having fun as a group. And of course, we need to address the elephant in the room. The pink flowers forming the number 2. Instead of doing what the first game did and leaving the flowers to be a mystery, This time we can see the two newly added Pikmin types, purple and white Pikmin, peeking out from under the pink flowers. And the screen gets one more point for the camera zooming down the tree to look at the Pikmin, subtly showing off some new and old enemies on its way down. But unlike Pikmin 1, Pikmin 2 isn't perfect, and it loses a couple points for the music. In Pikmin 1, the music was to me what made the title screen so charming to begin with. But in Pikmin 2, it just plays a short jingle before going completely silent and just leaving some environmental sounds in the background. Which, yes, the sound design is really nice, but it's mostly just some crickets in the background. If you're gonna leave the whole sound design of the title screen to be just environmental sounds, at least have something like a river running in the background. Would have done this title screen a lot of good. It's still a fantastic title screen for the game and shows off the new things the game added really well. 8 out of 10. It's my favorite part of Pikmin 2. 9 years have passed since the release of Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 3 is finally out. This was my first Pikmin game, and in the first year that I played it, I spent a total of 70 hours playing nothing but Pikmin 3 to 100% the game. In fact, this was the first Nintendo game that I've ever 100% completed, and I loved every second of it. And the moment that I knew how special this game was going to be was when I saw this title screen. The music is by far the best title theme the entire series has ever had. Like, if I ever had my phone's sound on, this song would probably be my ringtone. But I always just keep my phone on vibrate, so I've never bothered changing my ringtone. Anyway, that's beside the point. Just look at this title screen. The graphical upgrade is without a doubt clear from the first frame of this game. The water flowing at the bottom, the Pikmin running across the bridge in the background, sounds of crickets, birds, and even frogs in the background, the plants swaying in the wind like always, the new winged Pikmin flying through every now and then, again subtly showing off new Pikmin types like back in Pikmin 2, everything above the water being reflected off the water's surface, and quite possibly my favorite evolution of the title screen between Pikmin 2 and 3. Unlike in Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2's title screens where the camera was stationary, this time the cameraman is bouncing up and down a little bit. This added in with the Pikmin running around in the background instead of being front and center kind of makes this title screen feel like you're watching a nature documentary on the Pikmin. However, even if Pikmin 3's title screen improved on a lot of aspects of Pikmin 2's title screen, they both fail in one aspect. The thing that made me love Pikmin 1's title screen so much was the discovery of the flowers being Pikmin. I get it, at this point we are very familiar with the Pikmin, but they don't need to be the only thing to discover. Even so, I love pretty much everything about this title screen, as Pikmin 3 was the game that got me interested in other games' title screens and how well they represent their games. But just like Pikmin 2, it fails in a couple departments where Pikmin 1 shined, leaving me with nothing else to say but 9 out of 10. I love this title screen, and I love this game. There's a demo of it available on the Nintendo Switch, so at least go play that. So Pikmin 3 sold well on release. Maybe we don't have to wait almost a whole decade for Pikmin 4, right? Right? Sorry, what? What did you say? 10 years? It wasn't almost a decade, but instead a full one? Nintendo, why do you do this to us? Well, once again, just like with Pikmin 3, I knew immediately after seeing the title screen that the wait in fact was worth it. This title screen is just beautiful. The somber piano notes, the slick Pikmin 4 logo in the top right corner, the moving camera again being an upgrade from Pikmin 3's bouncing camera, the camera angles that make a photographer like me just so happy. This title screen has it all. It even shows off enemies that have been here since the beginning of the series, starting with a butterfly, moving on to small bulborbs, then a fiery blowhog, and then finally, the most iconic enemy in the series and one of my favorite enemy designs of all time. A fully grown bulborb with a clock next to it. Which, at least to me, kind of feels like Nintendo's way of saying, look, we know you had to wait a while, but to make up for it, we have made the biggest Pikmin adventure yet. And most people would call it the best. I'm still a bit on the fence about if or if not this game is the best in the series, but this is definitely my favorite title screen the series has to offer so far. I remember when I first opened the game, I just sat there for a solid 10 minutes, just listening to this piano and looking at the beautiful scenery. But it was during those 10 minutes that I found myself wondering, where are the Pikmin? This was the first time that there weren't any Pikmin present in the title screen. Or so I thought, as Pikmin 4 is the first Pikmin game to have two completely different title screens. Once you make it to the best area in any Pikmin game ever, this title screen is replaced with a new one. And just like the base title screen, it's amazing. The second title screen starts off on the same view that the first screen had, until zooming out of a TV to reveal the Pikmin and our new friend Ochi, just relaxing and enjoying their time, stealing cookies and whatnot. Until the game wakes up some of that old nostalgia for us as we hear a Pikmin scream as a Bulborb comes running into the screen, chasing the Pikmin and Ochi away. Then we're met with silence, until they return to where they were before the Bulborb attack and the scene loops again. This is everything that I've ever wanted from a video game title screen. It's beautiful, it has a homey feel, it's cute, and it really captures the feel of the game. But most importantly, this title screen alone was so good that just it alone was enough to make the 10-year wait for Pikmin 4 worth it to me. And that's something that no other video game can say for themselves. Pikmin 1's title screen is better with the whole discovery aspect of the Pikmin themselves. And yes, my opinion on which one is my favorite might change in the future as recency bias for Pikmin 4 dies down. But as of right now, this is my favorite title screen from any video game ever. It's perfect in every way, and I can't imagine changing anything about it. And so, it wouldn't feel right to give Pikmin 4's title screen anything less than a 10 out of 10. But of course, that's just my opinion. Let me know what your thoughts are on these title screens and be sure to leave your ranking of them in the comments below. I really want to know what other people think of these things. But it seems that our time together has come to an end for now. But I have a feeling we'll be seeing each other again very soon. Goodbye for now.